Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Capricorn in mid-July 2021. What's going on, Capricorns? How are you guys doing? I hope you all are doing well. All right, friends, welcome to mid-July, wherever you are in the world right now. Capricorn, I hope you're safe, happy, healthy, and secure. Please take good care of yourselves and those that you know and love. And if you're able to enjoy the good weather here in the Northern Hemisphere, or, you know, whatever weather is going on in the Southern Hemisphere, it's winter. I assume it's cold in some form or fashion. But anyway, wherever you are, if you're able to go out and socialize, please take all precautions necessary so that we can truly get back to normal. And yeah, just hoping you're all good, okay? Capricorn, no other announcements, so let's get into it. Anything you want, it is in the description box below. Timestamp is down there. Information on how to purchase a personal reading with me is down there. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, I'll give you a link for that down below as well, okay? Capricorn... yeah, I'm using, jeez, I'm using decks I don't normally use on the channel or even in my private videos. As you can see, the cards are larger and they're a little bit harder to handle. But you had two flip out here. So 9 of Pentacles, right? Yeah, 9 of Pentacles and Ace of Cups. So for some of you, you could be working really hard at new love in your life, putting in a lot of energy, effort, time, money into creating new love or new avenues for love. And love is not just romantic love. Love is, you know, universal really when I try to do my readings. So it can mean anything, any type of relationships or any form of love in your life. So I feel like that 9 is like showing you're at a good place to really receive it or give it, okay? And I hate this chair. It's squeaking like all hell, but let's get into it, okay? So for Capricorn, messages for you guys in mid-July. Messages for Capricorn mid-July 2021, please. Okay. See what we got. But anyway, yeah, I'm using different decks that I don't normally use. Trying to switch up the energy, see what different types of messages come through from my guides for the collective. Well, not for the collective, but for each sign as I do the readings. Okay. One more, please. At least one more. Okay. All right, let's see what we've got so far. So, 9 of Wands. Interesting. I saw that in the pre-shuffle. 6 of Pentacles. Oof. And the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. So, you know, if you saw what happened with the flip out, if you didn't just skip to this open point through the timestamp, this is kind of the opposite of what I said with the 9 of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups coming out. This is sort of maybe showing what you're still doing or what you just came out of. 9 of Wands, 6 of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Rest and reconsider, giving and receiving, and then strengthening bonds. I feel like some of you, you're coming out of a situation or you're still dealing in a situation where the strengthening of bonds, you know, making solid plans, making solid foundations, you know, having something that was accountable, like something that you could be assured of in your life, materially, financially, even spiritually a little bit here for some of you, but like the connectivity, like the firmness of something simply never came to fruition. You know, if this was, you know, because aces are about planting seeds, opportunities, things that can grow. If you did plant seeds, like literally this garden never sprouted. You know, you had a bad batch of seeds, the soil wasn't great, you know, the effort you or other people put into making the seeds grow, just, it did not work, okay? And that maybe was a hard lesson for some of you to learn, because I feel like you were very open. You know, you see the series of hands opening. So you were very giving in the situation. But what does the card say? Giving and receiving. So if this was about partnership of any type, if this was about, you know, concerted effort of any type, for whatever purpose, you or someone else you were dealing with, because this is a general reading, so it can go vice versa, but somebody here was just, boom, hands out, give to the situation, give, and never took away, never pulled in. And that is something that somebody, I think, maybe spent a good portion of their lifetime doing, or a good amount of time in the situation doing. Relationship, family relationships, business relationships, whatever. This is, you know, you see this person like they're sort of stranded, it looks like, on this mountainside, on this cliffside, but look where the ground is in the background. They're just so far beneath them. So somebody has lost touch with the ground. Someone's not grounded. So Capricorn, this is trying to fix a problem, trying to fix a person, trying to give what is needed, necessary in order to facilitate something. But that leaves someone stranded. It leaves someone exhausted. And they have to rest and reconsider what they've done, or how they're doing things. If it's not completely finished, how to get back to the ground. I've ascended this cliffside. I've gotten this far up here, but now I'm tired. I'm bruised. I'm battered. You know, in the traditional, this is the wounded warrior. This is somebody who puts up, or who puts in their best effort. But what do they get in return? Bruises and scars and wounds and a beat up head. And then what? Then they have to make it back to camp. Like if this was literally an explorer or somebody from a village, right? And the village is down there on the ground in that greenery somewhere, in those trees and in that grassland. This person is so far from home, so far from home base. So the giving is nice, but it disconnects you from your grounded, centered self. And when you're grounded and you're centered, it's not that you're selfish and that you don't give. It's just you know when to give and how much to give of yourself before you end up stranded somewhere and can't make it home. And you need to rest, and you need to reflect, and you need to go and retrace your steps in order to find yourself again. Which again was sort of what I was saying with those two cards that flipped out in the beginning. It's like after some type of effort, because it was the Nine of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups. After effort, because what comes before the Nine of Pentacles? The Eight of Pentacles, effort. Then you get this reward of newness, this ability to create anew or have new love in your life. Again, love is universal. It's not necessarily always about romance, but if it is romantic love I'm talking about, in your situations, great. If I'm talking about friendship, great too. Family, great. Self-love, also great. All the loves are great. None is preferred with the powers that be. All love is sacred, right? So I think this is, again, what you've been through. This is kind of contextualized for some of you, a summation of where you've been. Others of you, you're still in this moment. You're still in this situation where the giving isn't balanced because you've got 4 different hands here. And maybe you're trying to do the work of 4 people. What kind of shit is that? I don't care what kind of situation you're talking about. Doing the work of 4 other people, unless those 3 people, aside from yourself, are legit laid up in a coma, their arms and their legs are strung up in some casts, or, whatever. I just don't agree with doing the work for others. Like, temporarily? Sure. But this is not temporary. You've got long-standing situations. Again, cliffside. You don't get up that cliffside that far from the ground in a day's trip. 1-day hike. Nope. Several days, maybe even a week or 2. But in your literal life, this could be months or years of doing this, because you've got Pentacles also here, which is temporally speaking the element or the suit of cards that takes the longest to progress through life. Pentacles. It takes a long time to get there. Earth energy, right? So you guys have been doing this for a minute. Let's see what else is... Okay, so again, some of you are still in there. I don't think I need to clarify anything. If that situation makes sense to you, if this resonates, that's great. If it doesn't, consider yourself lucky, I suppose, and try again next month. But if this is your situation, let's see. I feel there's like stubbornness with the rest and reconsider, the Nine of Wands. We might clarify that. I'm between... Okay, you know what? Let me get one here, one here. I want to see more on both of those. So, one for rest and reconsider. Clarify the rest and reconsider card. Give me 1 on rest and reconsider. 9 of Wands. Give me 1 on that card. Clarify why that's here for Capricorn. More insight for that card. Thank you. And give me 1 for 6 of Pentacles, giving and receiving. Why is that here? for Capricorn. Give me one more on giving and receiving. Six of Pentacles. One more on that, please. Clarify that for me. Why is that here for Capricorn? Okay. Ooh, sadness and isolation. Okay. You really tried to fix something. You really did. And it's not your job. Period. Paragraph. Not your job. Okay, so Nine of Wands, clarified by the Three of Wands. Take the lead. So this is breaking free. You know, okay, this is definitely not like a Capricorn in your overall archetype, but the archetypes of every sign doesn't speak for the nuances of the human experience. Not all the time, right? So you might be so exhausted. You might be so used to pushing yourself to the limits that sometimes deep inside of you, Capricorn, you might desire to be rescued. Six of Pentacles right next to it. Again, reciprocated energy, shared energy. If I give of myself to the point of exhaustion, other people should do so too. Not the case. Not everybody's made like you. Not everybody's made like me or him or her or anybody else. So this idea that other people will do exactly like you do, give of themselves to the point where they are bruised and battered and just like stranded somewhere and disgruntled about it or frustrated about it and annoyed by it or disappointed or whatever. There's this feeling of, I want some, not saying you feel this way or that you would say this, let me say it that way, that you would say this out loud, but it is sort of this feeling of, where's the person who's going to break their neck for me? Where's the person who's going to give their all for me? Where are the people who are going to give and give and give and give and give and give, and then I can take and take and take and take and take? That's not balanced, by the way. You know, to do the opposite of what you've been doing, that's not balanced. That's simply, you know, the other side of the coin. It always has to be a mixture, and it has to fluctuate and always kind of, you know, give and receive in proportion, right? You know? And that's not stagnant also, because the giving and receiving would oscillate. But whatever. But this take the lead, I feel like you have to rescue yourself. And some of you already know that, and you've done that work, and I'm proud of you. Good job. Others of you, you're still in this, but I'm hurt, and I'm struggling, but nobody's helping me. Are you asking for help? Number one. Number two, even if you ask for help, nobody's obligated to help you. You know, helping is an act of giving. Helping is an act of, to many extents, an act of selflessness. And if you have people around you who, even when you ask for help, they don't give it to you, then you have to reconsider who you have around you. And are they worth your time, energy, effort, and all that good stuff, right? So take the lead, I think, to clarify this, is showing you will control the next path that you go down. And when you go down that path, you know, similar to this person sitting up here on this cliff, whoever they are, you, someone else in the situation, whomever, they control when they want to go home. When they want to get up, whether they've got a busted ankle or not, whether they've got, you know, dysentery. I laugh because it's an Oregon Trail reference. Whether they've got, a bruised up head, they decide when they're ready to try and go home. Because that's all the Three of Wands is. Three of Wands is concerted effort. It's a desire to progress. It's a desire to move one foot in front of the other towards something new, different, exciting, fulfilling, all those things. So if you're unfulfilled or disappointed with where you've been and whom you've been around, you get to rewrite that story if you choose, when you choose. Okay? Clarifying these Six of Pentacles, giving and receiving. Three of Swords, sadness and isolation. Now, many of us know what that traditional card looks like, right? I like this depiction as well. Like, this is, to me, a triumphant version of the Three of Swords. To me, this is more hopeful than the three swords piercing the heart, you know, that thing that we're used to seeing. I think this is someone understanding that very, very, I suppose, in a very unnoticeable way. On quick glance, you wouldn't see that the person in agony on the lower half of the card is connected to the person who is set free, or who is liberated, who is reborn, who is coming out of pain, anguish, frustration, sadness, betrayal, whatever, and able to, again, I feel like for you, Capricorn, this is like taking your power back from people or situations where you really gave over control, or you gave over sort of your senses or your sensibilities. Let's say that. Your sensibilities. You might have been, maybe the giving wasn't necessarily giving, maybe the giving was permissibility. Maybe you allowed things that shouldn't have been allowed. There's 2 3s here, third party situation. Go ahead and use that if it applies to your situation. But, you know, again, the third party situation doesn't have to be romantic or sexual. It can be anything. So there was possibly some type of interference or some element in the situation or person or an energy in the situation that is definitely not a part of your regular routine. You don't normally talk to people who behave this way, or who believe these things, or present themselves in these ways. You don't normally experience or put yourself in situations and go to places like some of you, you know, like in a group setting or in a setting with people that you were trying to build something strong with, something firm with. Again, Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Like, it could have been a friendship thing. Like, you know, peer pressure. You know, I'm not trying to say... It's like, in order to get along, you may have done things that you normally would not have done. Peer pressure, yes. So, traditional speaking of peer pressure, that's, you know, the rite of passage that many of us go through. You know, you go off to college, you become, you know, you're in your early 20s, late teens, mid 20s even, start dealing with drugs and alcohol, and like, you just didn't grow up that way, or it always never appealed to you, but because that's what everybody else on the floor is doing, and there's a big old kegger down at, you know, Alpha Pi, Sigma Phi, blah, 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 this is what we're gonna go do. And it's just like, is that really how you were in high school? Is that really a part of your value system? Pentacles, what you value. Wands, what you desire. Swords, what you think. What your worldview is. Yes? So you may have, in some ways, sold yourself out. I'm not trying to blame you or anything like that, but like, that's the feeling here. Or maybe this is how you perceive it. You know, maybe you, I don't know. Let's get a card of advice and then we're going to wrap up. Point is, I feel like many of you have moved through this, or you're still in the process of it. So give yourself time, you know, cut yourself some slack here and there. You know, don't beat yourself up too much. But at the same time, don't allow yourself... I shouldn't say don't allow yourself. I feel like you can only be accountable for yourself. You can't hold accountability for other people. You can hold it to them. I hold accountability to you. I present it to you, but I don't hold your accountability for you. I hope that makes sense. You can only be as accountable for yourself. So I feel like somewhere in this story, some of you are feeling guilty about doing the right thing for yourself. What? Like, self-preservation, self-love, self-care is super important. And if your wellness is in the balance here, or is being sacrificed because you want to get along with other people, I disagree, friend. Don't do that. You can, but I don't recommend. Alright, so let's get a card of advice for, not Sagittarius, Capricorn. Capricorn at this time. What is the card of advice for Capricorn in this situation? Spread your wings, 2 of Wands. So again, this idea of progression. Now, you have to make a choice. I mean, I think that's kind of an obvious. And the choice is yours to make. You know, you don't have to do anything that I or anybody else advises you to do. You are your own person. I suppose I don't make it clear in all the videos that I do, but the general vibe that I try to present as a reader is I'm not here to make choices for you. I'm not here to even present all the options to you. I only present what I see in the cards and what I feel in the energy. And at no point should you do exactly what Jay said to do. No, you do what you decide to do. Look at this person. One path. Nobody else is on that path. There's nobody standing next to her pointing and saying, go that way. There's no one, pulling her along with like a string tied around her waist going, come here and go this way and all that kind of shit. No. So it's you, Capricorn. You decide. Now spread your wings. I feel for some of you, you might be outgrowing a situation, outgrowing a social circle, outgrowing some of your own family history, family values, family belief systems that have been passed down, and I'm not trying to knock anything here, and I don't really see it because you don't have like anything like the Hierophant or even something like Temperance is in here. Like nothing here is like giving me like doctrine, but if that's a part of your story, own that. You're doing things because that's the way you thought it was supposed to be, because that's the way they taught you since you were a kid, or you're reacting to things or not reacting. There you go. Or not reacting to things because that's what you were told. Some of you were told not to give in to or not to withhold. Some of you have been, for lack of a better word, groomed into giving, to the point where it takes from yourself. I disagree. But again, if that's how you were raised, if that's what you were shown and was the leading example where you grew up and around the people that you grew up, that's kind of all you know. I heavily disagree, and I feel there's a different way. There's a different path, but you have to choose to walk that path, and you have to choose to put the effort there, okay? Capricorn, that's your reading for mid-July. If you like this reading, if it resonated with you, hit the like button, drop a comment down below, let me know how it did resonate. I'd love to read that. And if you want to get at me for a personal reading, you can look on how to do so. Thank you. By looking in the description box down below, okay? Capricorn, I'll be back soon to do your August readings. Until then, guys, thank you so much for watching. Take care.